Hello and welcome to this video, which is not strictly about the Nimzo Indian and the Ragozin, but still important to study because it's part of a general repertoire for black against everything non-e4. Everything that is not 1e4 is kind of transpositional. White can play d4 on the first move, knight f3 on the first move, or c4, and all those moves mix well together. So we have to be quite alert that if white does not go 1d4 but, and this is what we're talking about in this video, for instance playing knight f3, that we're not getting into some variation, some line that we have not covered in our mainline d4 defenses. So it's important to have the move order straight. The other move would be c4 that white could try, and against c4 it's rather difficult to get into the Nimzo Indian Ragozin type of waters, because if we just quickly talk about this, after c4 we cannot immediately put a pawn in the center with d5, and to get a queen's gambit kind of structure we need to start with e6 or knight f6, and those moves have their drawbacks. For example, knight f6, knight c3, and now if we want to get into a queen's gambit, Ragozin kind of thing, we have to play e6, but now white has the option to play e4 for an entirely different opening. Or if we would do it differently, like e6, knight c3, and now we would go for this move order, then it's again difficult to get into a Ragozin, because knight f6, white is not obliged to play the knight to f3. We have not, as we usually do, like waited for the knight to come to f3 and then play d5. So against c4, it is a bit difficult to get to the lines that we have examined in the main chapters of this course. I usually recommend to play e5 against 1c4 and study these lines. They give good chances for black to equalize and yield an interesting game. So this video deals with one knight f3, and against this move we have good opportunities to build a repertoire around the Nimzo Indian and the Ragozin. What should we play against one knight f3? There are two main candidates with our anti-d4 repertoire, and that would be one d5 or one knight f6. Both would kind of fit. d5, however, is the choice in this repertoire, and there is a clear reasoning behind this. If you go d5 first, you already stake a claim in the center with the pawn, and you get a little bit more flexibility with your light squared bishop. If you play knight f6 first, white will very often play the move c4, after which we don't easily get this bishop developed. Of course you can play e6, d5 with the hope to transpose into the main parts of this course, but white is not obliged to play d4 now. He could, I mean, like e6, d4 and retranspose, but he does not have to do that. He can play g3 here, for example, and then we are not able to develop this actively. And this is different here with one d5. If white now plays in a very slow way, like g3, b3, or some combination of c4, we are actually able to develop the bishop freely. So this is in a way a little bit more active, if you want to call it like that. Here a very popular move actually is the move d4, and then after knight f6 we would get into some kind of queen pawn opening. It could again transpose back to a Catalan or a Ragozin. That happens quite often. So white players often start with one knight f3 in order to play d4 only on move 2, having avoided many lines. This was a free preview of our anti-1d4 course based on the Nimzo Indian and Ragozin, available on chessable.com. Thanks for watching and see you soon.